They called it a weapon because it was hidden in plain sight. Not a sword, not an army, but a word. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand." The tongue carries power that no hand, no machine, no fortune can equal. And yet most people never even lift it. They wander through life speaking lack, declaring delays, commanding defeat, not realizing that their word is law. Their word is command. Their word is wealth. This was Florence's hidden weapon, not because no one had ever heard it before, but because almost no one knew how to use it. Like a soldier with a sword still in its sheath, most people went into battle with life defenseless, repeating words that chained them instead of words that freed them. She taught that your spoken word sets spiritual law in motion. Every decree you make, whether casual or conscious, goes forth to prepare your future. When you say, "I can't afford this," the universe takes notes. When you say, "Nothing works out for me," life quickly agrees. But when you dare to say, "I am supplied always now," or "My prosperity is permanent and multiplying," the unseen responds like an army waiting for its command. Florence called these weapons "you know not of," because the majority of the world was busy reaching outward for money, hustling harder, chasing luck, while the real force was waiting in their mouth. She showed that one affirmation, one decree, one command spoken with faith could reverse months, even years of struggle. And here's where you lean in, because this isn't just history. It isn't just her words written 100 years ago. It's alive right now in your own voice. The question is, what are you commanding today? Do your words cancel lack, or do they secretly extend it? Are you speaking as a master or as a beggar? Florence made it clear. Heaven listens to no begging, only commanding. God does not respond to whining, but to faith-filled decrees. So here is your first activation. Speak this aloud, even now as you listen. I am supplied always now. My wealth is permanent. My good multiplies under grace. Let those words hang in the air around you. Feel them shift the space. Because every word you speak is not just sound, it is substance. Invisible, yes, but real, yes. It travels, it commands, it obeys. This is the first glimpse of the hidden weapon Florence used. And it's already in your mouth. But this is only the beginning. Because in the next revelation, you'll see how this weapon doesn't just defend you from lack. It multiplies what you already have. Florence said, "The game of life is a game of boomerangs. What you send out returns." And she meant not just actions, not just thoughts, but words. Your word is not only a weapon to defend against lack. It is a sower of seed. Every decree you speak plants something in the unseen soil. And just like any seed, it does not return as it went out. It returns multiplied. This is why careless speech is so dangerous. A single complaint about money is not just a sigh in the wind. It's a seed of delay, a seed of debt, a seed that will grow until you uproot it with a higher command. Florence taught that most people plant weeds and wonder why their harvest is empty. But she also revealed that the same law of multiplication can turn to your favor the moment you speak with intention. Think of it like this. When you speak words of lack, You send a command to armies of unseen messengers. Bring me proof that I am broke. Show me evidence that nothing works out for me. And they obey. They return with bills, disappointments, delays. But when you speak words of prosperity, you release those same messengers to work in your favor. You say, I am rich in ideas. I am wealthy in opportunities. I command increase. And the messengers go forth. They search, they arrange, they deliver. They do not argue. They do not hesitate. They obey. This is the law Florence wanted you to understand. Your word multiplies what it carries. It is never neutral. It always returns, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So listen closely. If the harvest around you looks thin, it is not because God withheld, or because destiny forgot you. It is because your word planted too little or planted the wrong thing. The soil of spirit is too generous to reject seed. It gives back whatever you decree. That's why Florence urged her students to use what she called flaming words. Words charged with faith. Words burning with certainty. Words that multiply the good, not the bad. So I give you this second activation. Speak it aloud with me. My words are seeds of wealth. I plant only prosperity. I harvest only increase. What I speak multiplies now. Pause. Let it settle. Feel how the atmosphere shifts when your tongue aligns with your destiny. The weapon is not only hidden, it is multiplying. And the longer you wield it with awareness, the more unstoppable its harvest becomes. But Florence knew that words alone, without alignment, could become hollow. That's why in her next revelation, she unlocked the mystery of charging your words with power so they pierce through delay and bring immediate change. Florence said, words without faith are like swords without fire. They make a sound, but they do not cut. This was her warning. Yes, every word plants seed. Yes, every decree commands. But if you speak without energy, without belief, without charge, it becomes like scattering dust in the wind. So how do you charge your words? How do you turn simple affirmations into fiery commands that wealth itself cannot resist? Florence revealed the answer. Emotion is the electricity, faith is the flame, and imagination is the conductor. She taught that when you speak, you must see it, you must feel it, you must clothe those words with conviction, as if they were already true. Because the subconscious mind, the silent servant, responds not just to language, but to the vibration behind it. Think of a child asking for a drum. The boy Florence wrote about did not beg timidly. He declared with certainty, I will have a drum. His words were alive with expectation, and soon enough the drum appeared. Contrast this with the adult who whispers, I am wealthy, while secretly rolling their eyes, doubting every syllable. The words go out, yes, but limp, powerless, empty. They do not pierce. They do not multiply. Florence's teaching was clear. If you want your word to become law, you must back it with vision, with fire, with feeling. A decree without charge is a shadow. A decree with charge becomes a weapon of light. This is where so many falter. They speak the words, but never feel them. They repeat affirmations like parrots, not like prophets. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But you will not make that mistake. Here is your third activation. Close your eyes for a moment. See your life already filled with supply. See the bills paid, the accounts overflowing, the opportunities open before you. Now, speak this aloud with the weight of certainty. I am wealthy. I am permanent supply. My words are fire, and they go forth charged with power. Say it again, but this time let your chest rise with conviction. Feel the charge behind the sound. Because when your word carries fire, the universe cannot ignore it. Florence called this the difference between wishful talk and divine decree. One is noise, the other is command. This is how you awaken the hidden weapon within your mouth, by charging it with faith and fire. But she did not stop there, because even charged words can be delayed if spoken out of alignment. And in her next revelation, Florence unlocked the mystery of timing and alignment, the secret of speaking when heaven listens most closely. Florence often said, "God's delays are not God's denials." She knew that words carry power, but also that timing is a hidden key. Think of it this way. You may plant the right seed. You may water it with emotion, clothe it in vision, release it with fire. But if you demand a harvest in the wrong season, you may grow impatient. You may speak against your own decree. And that, Florence warned, is how people cancel their miracles before they arrive. The hidden weapon is not just about what you speak. It is also about when you speak. She revealed that the most potent times for command are the thresholds, the moments between waking and sleeping, between silence and sound, between need and supply. Why? Because in those thin moments, your conscious mind quiets, and your subconscious is most open to receive. Florence called it the fertile borderland. Right before sleep, right upon waking, hear your words slip past resistance and root directly into the soil of spirit. This is why she urged her students to speak divine decrees as the last words at night and the first words at dawn. Not complaints, not worry, not fear, but flaming affirmations of wealth, of supply, of alignment. When you do this, you are not just speaking to the air. You are speaking into the blueprint of your next day. Your word becomes the architect, drawing plans before you even rise from bed. So here is your fourth activation. Tonight, before you sleep, whisper this as your final word. Divine supply fills my night and flows into my morning. I awaken rich in every way. And when you wake tomorrow, before you scroll, before you speak to anyone else, declare this as your first decree. This day is overflowing with wealth, favor, and divine order. Do you feel it? This is how alignment works, not by chance, not by luck, but by commanding your day at its entry points. Florence said, "The dawn is mine, the night is mine. I set them in order with my word." And in that alignment, lack loses its grip. Delay dissolves. Supply finds its opening. This is the timing of the weapon. And when you master it, you discover that every day bends to your decree. But Florence taught one more dimension beyond timing. And it may be the most important of all. Because even if you speak with fire, even if you speak at the right hour, Your words cannot prosper unless they are spoken in harmony with divine order. And in the next revelation, we will unlock the secret of divine order, the invisible pattern that ensures your words never return void. Florence declared, "Divine order is heaven's blueprint. When you align with it, nothing can be lost, delayed, or denied you." She knew that words carry weight, but she also knew that power without order can scatter. A sword swung without aim can wound instead of protect. A decree spoken without divine alignment can invite confusion instead of clarity. This is why she called divine order the secret framework, the pattern that ensures every spoken word hits its mark. Think about it. When your command flows from fear, it wavers. When your decree is born out of panic, it bends. But when your word is rooted in divine order, it goes forth like an arrow, precise, unstoppable, exact. Florence taught her students to speak this command daily. Divine order is established in me and around me. What is mine by right cannot be kept from me. This decree does not only bring supply, it sets your life in rhythm. It restores what was misplaced. It positions what seemed delayed. It gathers what looked scattered. She gave an example. A woman who thought she had lost important papers spoke, "Divine order brings back to me what is mine." Within hours, the papers were found, not by chance, but by the invisible hand of order. You see, the hidden weapon is not just power, not just timing, but alignment. When you speak in harmony with divine order, even mistakes turn into miracles. Even detours lead you to the right destination. Even what looked like loss becomes restored with increase. Here is your fifth activation. Speak this now with faith. Divine order governs my life. What belongs to me returns multiplied. Nothing is lost in spirit. Let it settle. Because in that moment, you are not just calming your fear. You are commanding the invisible structure of the universe to bring your supply into place. Florence knew that people spend their lives begging for what is already theirs. But she wanted her students, she wanted you, to live in order, where begging is replaced by commanding, and fear is replaced by certainty. This is the shield around your word. This is the aim behind your decree. This is what makes the weapon hidden, no longer, but awakened. And yet, Florence went further still. Because she said, even divine order is amplified when joined with the greatest force of all, love. In her next revelation, you'll discover why she called love the strongest solvent of every obstacle, and how it makes your wealth commands unstoppable. Florence declared it without hesitation. Love is the strongest solvent of all. It dissolves fear. It dissolves resentment. It dissolves obstacles, and it clears the path for wealth to flow. She called it the great magnifier, because while faith charges your words and divine order directs them, love is the force that makes them irresistible. Think of it this way. A word spoken with bitterness carries friction. A command declared with hidden resentment still drags the weight of anger behind it. even if you decree abundance, if your heart is poisoned by envy, the flow is clogged. Florence warned of this. She said, resentment, criticism, hate, these are the thieves of supply. They may not rob you all at once, but they quietly eat away at your wealth, corroding the channels meant to carry it to you. But love, love is different. Love oils the gears of divine law. It clears the channel. It multiplies every decree. It magnetizes people, opportunities, and favor toward you. This is why she urged her students to forgive, to release, to bless even their enemies. Not because it excused wrongs, but because it unclogged the channel of their own prosperity. She said, you cannot hold resentment and hold supply at the same time. One cancels the other. And here is where the hidden weapon shines brightest. When your words are not only charged with faith, timed in alignment, framed in divine order, but also saturated with love, they become unstoppable. They move through obstacles as light moves through darkness. They dissolve delays as heat melts ice. They magnetize wealth with a pull no circumstance can resist. So here is your sixth activation. Speak it with feeling. I dissolve every obstacle with love. I release resentment and command abundance. My heart is clear, and my wealth flows freely. Say it again, slowly. Because the truth is, the moment you release resentment, you unclench the very fist that was holding your supply hostage. The very moment you love, you align with the highest law, and the hidden weapon becomes a blazing sword of light. Florence taught her students to bless their finances with love, to bless their opportunities with love, to bless even their smallest possessions with love. Because what you bless multiplies, what you curse withers. This is why the greatest weapon is not anger, not fear, not force, but love. Love makes your word irresistible. Love makes your decree magnetic. Love makes your weapon divine. And yet Florence saved one more secret for those ready to hear it. Because she said the spoken word, when joined with praise, does not just bring supply. It brings it quickly. It brings it lavishly. It brings it under grace in perfect ways. In the next revelation, you will discover why praise is the hidden accelerator of every wealth command. Florence called it the high frequency of praise. She taught that when faith charges your word, when order directs it, when love clears the path, praise lifts it into rapid motion. She wrote, blessing opens the way for blessing. Praise accelerates the law. Why? Because praise is proof that you already believe. It is the sound of certainty. It is the echo of answered prayer before the answer appears. Most people beg. They plead. They ask the heavens to hurry. But praise does not beg. It celebrates. Praise says, it is done. It is mine. I rejoice before I see. Florence revealed that praise collapses time. It shrinks the distance between decree and demonstration. She gave examples of students who praised for their supply before it came, and within days, sometimes hours, doors swung open, debts dissolved, opportunities appeared. Because the universe listens, and when it hears praise, it hears readiness, it hears faith, it hears, prepare the delivery, for this one is already rejoicing. So here is your seventh activation. Right now, wherever you are, speak this aloud. I praise divine supply. I rejoice in advance. My good is here, my wealth is flowing, and I celebrate now. Say it with joy, not strain. Smile as you speak it. Because Florence knew, joy magnetizes faster than fear ever could. This is the hidden rhythm of the weapon. Charge with faith, aim with order, soften with love, accelerate with praise. Do you feel the progression? This is no longer just affirmation. This is alchemy of the spirit. Each layer multiplies the force of your word until heaven itself moves on your behalf. And Florence wanted you to know, when you combine these steps, you do not just see small shifts. You see divine reversals. Loss turned into increase. Delay transformed into speed. Debt dissolved into overflow. But she also left a warning, because just as praise accelerates good, complaint accelerates lack. Grumbling multiplies what you despise. And most people never realize they are sabotaging their own wealth by rehearsing misery. That's why she urged her students to guard their lips fiercely, to refuse complaint, to reject worry talk, and to choose praise in all things. Because praise is not just polite. It is a weapon, and it is one of the most powerful Florence ever revealed. But the story does not end here, because in her next revelation, Florence unveiled the final secret to making your words indestructible: persistence. She taught that the word repeated, the word sustained, the word unshaken by appearances, becomes law that nothing can undo. Florence said, "A single arrow may miss the mark, but a steady rain will wear away the stone." She knew that wealth is not won by one careless phrase, but by persistence. The steady, unwavering command that does not bend to appearances. Most people speak once, then cancel. They affirm today and contradict tomorrow. They decree wealth in the morning, and by nightfall, they declare lack again. Florence warned, every denial is a withdrawal. Every complaint is a cancellation. This is why persistence is not optional. It is the shield that guards your word until manifestation arrives. Think of persistence as rhythm, like a heartbeat, like a drum, steady, certain, relentless. The universe cannot ignore rhythm. It begins to move in time with it. Florence taught her students to choose a decree and repeat it daily, hourly if needed, until it became the only voice in their atmosphere. She wrote, "Do not take no for an answer. Appearances are but shadows. The word is reality." This is how miracles are born, not by shouting once into the void, but by holding steady, even when the void shouts back. Not by wishing for proof, but by declaring truth until proof has no choice but to appear. So here is your eighth activation. Say it with me. I persist in my decree. My word does not return void. I hold until it manifests, and nothing shakes me. Feel the firmness of that statement. It is not desperate. It is not pleading. It is steady, unshaken, immovable. Florence compared it to planting a tree. You do not dig it up every morning to see if it is growing. You water it. You protect it. You let it root. And in time, it becomes unmovable. That is how your word works. Every repetition is water. Every decree is sunlight. Every affirmation is nourishment. until the unseen becomes seen, and the harvest can no longer be denied. This is persistence, the guard of the hidden weapon. But Florence did not stop here. She revealed that persistence becomes even more powerful when joined with expectancy. For persistence without expectancy is duty. But persistence with expectancy is prophecy. In the next revelation, you'll see how Florence taught her students to not only persist, but to expect, and why expectancy is the final spark that turns the hidden weapon into an unstoppable force of wealth. Florence declared, "Faith without expectancy is like a letter without an address. It goes nowhere." She knew that persistence holds the word steady, but expectancy draws the result near. It is not enough to repeat your decree like a ritual. You must live as though its fulfillment is inevitable. Because the subconscious and the universe itself obey not only the sound of your words, but the posture of your heart. She often told the story of students who affirmed wealth daily, but still walked with slumped shoulders, spoke of bills, and planned for disappointment. Their lips declared prosperity, but their lives rehearsed lack. And as a result, their words circled without landing. Florence revealed expectancy as the landing strip. Without it, wealth hovers. With it, wealth arrives. Expectancy is not tension. It is not straining. It is the calm knowing that what you command must appear. It is walking to the mailbox with joy, knowing the letter is already sent. It is opening the door as if the knock is moments away. It is setting the table before the guest arrives. This is expectancy, and it is the crown of command. Florence gave her students this decree: I expect only good. I prepare for supply. What I command appears quickly and under grace. Notice the balance. Not forcing, not rushing, but preparing. Because expectancy is not demand. It is alignment. It says, I am ready. I am open. I am certain. So here is your 9th activation. Speak it with readiness. I expect my wealth now. I live as though it is done. I prepare the way, and riches flow to me with ease. Say it once more, but this time, imagine yourself already walking in that wealth. How would you speak? How would you carry yourself? What would your eyes look like? That, Florence taught, is the energy of expectancy. Because when you expect, you no longer chase. You no longer beg. You no longer strain. You command, you persist, and you prepare. And heaven rushes to meet you. But Florence left one last key to complete the weapon. Because she knew that persistence and expectancy work together. But they are made indestructible when anchored in gratitude. Gratitude, she said, seals the decree. It stamps the envelope. It locks the harvest in place. And in the next revelation, you'll discover how gratitude is not just polite, but prophetic. The final layer that ensures your word never returns empty. Florence declared, gratitude is the seal of faith. What you give thanks for multiplies. She understood that gratitude is not a reaction. It is a creation. Most people wait to see before they thank. They wait for the deposit before they smile, the gift before they bless, the breakthrough before they rejoice. But Florence flipped this completely. She taught her students, give thanks before you see. Because gratitude in advance is not courtesy, it is prophecy. It is your signature on the decree that says, this is already mine. Think of gratitude as the stamp on a letter. You may write the words with fire. You may address them with order. You may send them with love and praise. But without the stamp, the letter cannot be delivered. Gratitude is that stamp. It secures the delivery of your command. Florence often asked her students to say aloud, thank you, God. My supply is sure. Thank you, God. My wealth is flowing now. Not timidly, not wistfully, but boldly, as if the prayer were already answered. She wrote, the bridges of supply are built with thanksgiving. Every word of thanks lays a plank. Every moment of gratitude strengthens the bridge. Until one day, you walk across and find your wealth standing on the other side. So here is your 10th activation. Speak it with certainty. I give thanks for my overflowing supply. I rejoice in riches now. I seal my command with gratitude. Say it again, but this time, let your chest rise with joy. Feel the gratitude as if you already hold the harvest in your hands. Because in truth, you do. In spirit, it is already done. Your thanks simply pulls it into view. Florence warned that ingratitude is silent sabotage. To complain, to delay thanksgiving until proof appears, is to doubt the law itself. But gratitude unlocks speed. Gratitude multiplies supply. Gratitude is the final seal of the hidden weapon. So here is the mystery revealed. Your words are the weapon. Faith charges them. Order directs them. Love clears the way. Praise accelerates them. Persistence holds them. Expectancy prepares for them. And gratitude seals them. This is the rhythm Florence Scovel Shinn left behind. The blueprint of unstoppable command. And yet, there is one more truth. A truth she whispered for those who dared to believe. That once this weapon is awakened, it is not just for wealth. It is for health. It is for love. It is for destiny itself. Because the word, your word, is the power that governs every part of your life. Florence once wrote, the word you speak is a law for your world. She never limited this law to money alone. She wanted her students to understand. The hidden weapon, once awakened, becomes a force that shapes every domain of life. Wealth is only one chamber of the palace. Health, love, peace, destiny. These two are governed by your command. She told of a woman weakened by long illness, who had tried every remedy without relief. Florence taught her not to fight the sickness, but to command her body in love. She told her to speak daily, divine life floods my cells. I am strong. I am whole. I am well. Within weeks, strength returned, energy lifted, and her body obeyed. She told of another, lonely and longing for companionship. Instead of pleading for love, Florence instructed her to command in divine order. The one who belongs in my life arrives with ease. We are drawn together by the law of harmony. And soon enough, a relationship blossomed. Not forced, but divinely aligned. This is the scope of the weapon. Your word shapes your wealth. Your word shapes your health. Your word shapes your relationships. Your word shapes your very path in life. Think of it. Every area of lack is not a verdict, but an unopened command. Every struggle is not a sentence, but a silence waiting for your decree. Florence said, "Your word is your wand, not just in finance, but in healing, in love, in every corner of your existence." She wanted you to see that your life is not ruled by outer appearances. It is ruled by the invisible force of the word you speak consistently. So here is your 11th activation. Speak it now with full breath. My words command every part of my life. Wealth, health, love, and peace flow to me in perfect order. Pause. Let that soak in. Because when you say it, you are not just affirming wealth. You are crowning your entire life with authority. You are stepping into the full scope of this hidden weapon. No longer just using it to survive, but to shape destiny. And yet, Florence left one final charge. She said the word must not only be spoken, it must be lived. Because when the inner and outer life match, when the word and the walk are one, nothing on earth can resist the law. In the final revelation, we will seal this teaching with the greatest truth of all: how to live as the weapon itself, so that wealth, health, and every good thing flow to you naturally, continually, and without end. Florence's final charge was this: do not only speak the word, become the word. She taught that the greatest mastery is not repeating affirmations without end, but embodying them until your very presence speaks louder than your lips. Because when you live as the decree, you no longer struggle to command wealth. Wealth obeys you naturally. When you live as the law, you no longer chase health or love or opportunity. They find you because you are in alignment. Florence warned that many students stop halfway. They speak boldly, but live timidly. They affirm wealth, but still spend with fear. They declare health, but still walk as though fragile. They command love, but still rehearse rejection. The true hidden weapon is consistency between your word and your walk. When what you say and how you live are one, heaven rushes to uphold you. She told her students, if you claim abundance, carry yourself as abundant. If you claim strength, rise as strong. If you claim love, treat others with the same grace you seek. This was her secret, to become a living decree. So here is your 12th and final activation. Speak it, then breathe it, then live it. I am the word made manifest. My life is my decree. Wealth, health, love, and peace obey me, for I live in divine alignment. Say it again, not as hope, but as truth. Because when you embody it, the hidden weapon is no longer hidden. It shines in your presence. It echoes in your voice. It radiates in your choices. And the world cannot help but rearrange itself around you. Florence left us this legacy: faith to charge your words, order to guide them, love to soften them, praise to accelerate them, persistence to hold them, expectancy to prepare for them, gratitude to seal them, and a life lived in alignment to embody them. This is not a theory. It is not a fable. It is the rhythm of divine law. It is the hidden weapon placed in your mouth and in your life, waiting to be used. So now the question is not, does it work? The question is, will you live it? If you are ready, declare it boldly in the comments. I live as the Word. My decree is my destiny. And if this teaching has ignited something within you, subscribe now, because Florence's wisdom is not finished. We are only beginning to uncover her treasures. Remember, your words are not whispers, they are weapons. And when you live them, nothing can resist the wealth, health, and destiny already written in your name.